In the shadowed realms of the African savanna, there exists a creature that seems at first glance to defy nature's norms, a black lion, its coat a deep obsidian swirl among the tawny grass. Yet this majestic anomaly harbors a secret far more grotesque than its rare coloration. A horrific parasite infestation so grotesque and relentless, it reads like a dark fable of nature's cruelty. Imagine, if you will, the ghastly cavity etched into its side, a living wound seething with life forms that burrow, suck, and feast. This is no story of romantic wilderness. This is biology's raw, unfiltered horror play. The wound is not just a scar, but a chaotic ecosystem. Larvae wriggle beneath the skin, their translucent bodies pulsing and shifting with grotesque purpose. Mucus slicks the edges of the gaping sore. Droplets of festering fluid trickle away, drawing swarms of flies. This carnival of decay is sustained by an intricate family of parasites, each specialized for torment flies, ticks, mites, and botflies, all collaborating in a macabre symphony of destruction. The parasites anchor themselves deep within flesh, extracting nutrients, destroying tissue, and evading the lion's immune responses by secreting substances that suppress inflammation. This living wound is not merely a surface blemish, it's a tunnel network of flesh and agony. The black lion, already an anomaly by pigmentation alone, now presents a bold display of nature's darker chapters, parasitic organisms that have exploited evolutionary niches for survival. Botfly larvae, almost invisible to the naked eye, hatch within female flies only to be implanted under the lion's skin when the fly lands. These larvae grow, feeding on host fluids while avoiding lethal immune attacks through intricate biochemical camouflage. Meanwhile, ticks latch on, their barbed mouthparts embedding for days, injecting anesthetics to mask their presence, and anticoagulants to ensure a steady blood meal. The combined effects result in compromised health, loss of muscle mass, and behavioral changes that threaten this apex predator's dominance. This infestation isn't a mere accident, it symbolizes a cruel balance. Parasites depend on their host for survival, yet they push the host to the edge of existence. The lion moves through its territory, its dark coat now marred by threads of infection and pain, the embodiment in the vast, cold depths of the ocean, where sunlight battles its way through murky water, lies a haunting spectacle. A dolphin, once vibrant and free, now a grim tableau of suffering. Its sleek skin, usually smooth and glistening, is a ravaged canvas of festering wounds, each one a testament to the cruel grip of nature's darker mechanisms. This is not the tale of a battle with another predator, nor the scars of a tragic human encounter, but a slow, insidious invasion, muscle infestation, a grisly reminder of the fragile line between life and decay beneath the waves. At first glance, one might think this dolphin has been torn apart by teeth or claw. Instead, you see patches of thick crustacean shells embedded grotesquely into its flesh, colonies of mussels, relentless in their siege. These aren't the benign mussels clinging lazily to rocks on the shoreline. They are a parasitic onslaught, turning a majestic ocean mammal into a walking battlefield. The dolphin's skin is stretched tight around grotesquely swollen limbs where these mussels have drilled deep, burrowing with microscopic precision into the dermal layers. The wounds weep with a dark, salty fluid, mingling with decaying tissue, a wet nightmare buzzing with the life of thousands of larvae and tiny crustaceans thriving on its slow destruction. Mussel infestation on marine mammals like this dolphin is a sinister cycle born from opportunism and desperation. Mussels, typically filter feeders, have adapted to latch onto moving hosts, exploiting wounds or weakened skin to anchor themselves. This infestation growth is partly a breakdown of the dolphin's natural defenses, possibly triggered by illness or environmental stressors that leave the skin vulnerable. As the mussels embed deeper, they trigger infections, necrosis, and a cascade of physiological collapse. In the sprawling, sun-drenched plains where life teems in unrelenting cycles, a lone zebra stands, a stark testament to nature's brutal realities. Its familiar black and white stripes, usually a symbol of wild beauty and grace, are marred by a harrowing sight, a grotesque wound festering with an infestation of insects. This gruesome spectacle might cause a visceral shudder, but it offers a raw glimpse into the terrible calculus of survival in the animal kingdom. The wound is swollen, oozing a dark, thick exudate, the result of continuous assaults by a myriad of tiny marauders that feast not just on the zebra's flesh, but on its very existence. Those insects, tiny, almost invisible to the casual observer, have turned this elegant creature into a hive of decay and misery. Such wounds do not manifest in isolation. They are often birthed from a cascade of events that nature cruelly orchestrates. Flies, mites, and other parasitic bugs are attracted to open sores and broken skin, where they lay eggs or burrow into tissue, turning a minor injury into a festering nightmare. These parasites feed on blood and dead tissue, while their secretions and bites incite swelling, pain, and secondary infections. The zebra's body, a battleground, is overwhelmed by the relentless onslaught. The skin puckers around the injury site, pitted with small holes where larvae wriggle, and the foul stench of rot lingers in the air. A pungent reminder of decomposition beginning while life clings precariously. The insect infestation is a dark testament to the parasitic relationships thriving at the margins of survival. Flies, for example, don't just opportunistically feast on wounds. Some species have evolved intricate life cycles tightly interwoven with their host's vulnerabilities. Botfly, notorious in this dance of death, deposits eggs on the zebra's skin or in fur. These eggs hatch larvae that burrow beneath the skin where they develop, hidden and protected. Feeding on host tissue, this parasitic habitation can lead to intense irritation, immunological confusion, and severe tissue damage. Mites add to the devastation by burrowing deep into the skin, creating tunnels that cause intense itching and further wounds, multiplying the entry points for bacterial invasions. Bacteria themselves are unwilling accomplices in this grim saga. The wound, exposed to dirt, feces, and the marching armies of insects, becomes a playground for microbial life that accelerates decay. Infection turns tissue black and necrotic, while the immune system, overloaded, struggles to contain the carnage. The zebra's stoic posture masks immense suffering as it fights this invisible war. The scene, while repulsively fascinating, speaks volumes about the raw, indifferent operations of nature, where beneath the vast sky, where the wind carries a whisper of ancient tales, lies a stark and unsettling reality that rarely makes the evening news or the glossy pages of wildlife magazines. There, amidst the sweeping plains, stands a bison, majestic and ancient as time itself, yet marked by a grotesque horror. Across its massive flank, a festering wound yawns wide, a deep crater teeming with a sinister collection of parasites. This is no ordinary injury. It is a vivid portrayal of nature's harsher side, one that few wish to confront, yet is a crucial piece of the ecological puzzle. The raw, gruesome spectacle unravels a story of survival, decay, and the relentless horrors wrought by tiny, merciless invaders. This gaping lesion is a battlefield, a grotesque theater where countless parasites wage war against their colossal host. What you are witnessing is an extreme case of parasitic infestation, a dark symphony of small creatures exploiting a giant's vulnerability. The wound itself is not just a mere scrape, but a festering cavity lined with necrotic flesh and oozing fluids. Maggots, larvae of various flies, scurry within this perforated flesh, feasting on decaying tissue, bacteria thriving in the warm dampness, all woven together like malevolent threads in a tapestry of rot. These parasites are not merely accidental freeloaders, but sophisticated survivors finely tuned to exploit their host's weaknesses. Flies, attracted by the odor of decay, lay eggs in the open wound, and within hours, those eggs hatch into larvae, maggots, whose sharp, spiky mouths rasp at the compromised skin and soft tissues beneath. The larvae secrete enzymes that liquefy tissue, making it easier to consume, and leaving a poisonous stew that festers and spreads infection. Meanwhile, blood-sucking flies and ticks circle, puncturing the bison's skin in the heart of the Australian outback, where the sun blazes mercilessly and the air shimmers with heat. A scene unfolds that is both shocking and grotesque. Picture a kangaroo, a symbol of the wild, bounding gracefully across the rugged terrain. But today, this kangaroo is not leaping with its usual vigor. Instead, it is burdened by a horrific wound, a gaping hole in its side, oozing with a thick, dark substance. This is no ordinary injury. It is the result of a bee infestation, a gruesome testament to the darker side of nature. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, prepare yourself for a journey that intertwines the beauty of wildlife with the grim realities of survival. The wound, a festering hive of activity, is a breeding ground for bees that have taken an unfortunate liking to our kangaroo. These tiny creatures, often seen as harmless pollinators, have transformed into a nightmarish plague. The bees, drawn to the warmth and moisture of the kangaroo's flesh have burrowed into the wound, creating a hive that pulsates with life. Each bee, a tiny soldier in this bizarre invasion, works tirelessly to expand their colony, oblivious to the suffering they inflict. The sight is both fascinating and repulsive. The kangaroo, once a proud creature of the wild, now a host to a swarm of buzzing tormentors. As we observe this macabre spectacle, it becomes clear that the infestation is not merely a result of chance. The bees, in their relentless pursuit of survival, have found an easy target in the kangaroo's compromised immune system. The wound, likely a result of a previous encounter with a predator or an accident, has become a gateway for these opportunistic insects. The kangaroo, weakened and vulnerable, is unable to fend off the invasion, its body a canvas for nature's cruel artistry. The buzzing sound of the bees fills the air, a chilling reminder of the fragility of life in the wild. But what drives these bees to such extreme measures? In the world of nature, survival often comes at a cost. The bees, in their quest for a suitable nesting site, in the dense, shadowy heart of the rainforest, where the air is thick with humidity and the sounds of life echo in a cacophony of chirps and rustles, a chilling scene unfolds. A solitary gorilla, a majestic creature of strength and grace, stands frozen in a moment of agony. Its powerful frame is marred by a horrific wound, a grotesque testament to nature's darker side. The source of this suffering, a hive of bees, their relentless stings having transformed the gorilla's once pristine skin into a battlefield of swollen flesh and angry welts. This is not merely a tale of injury. It is a stark reminder of the intricate and often brutal relationships that exist within the animal kingdom. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, we must confront the reality of bee infestations in wildlife. The gorilla, a creature typically revered for its intelligence and social structure, has become an unwitting victim of a swarm that sees it not as a majestic being, but as a mere host. The bees, driven by instinct and the primal need to protect their hive, have launched an all-out assault. Each sting is a tiny dagger, injecting venom that causes excruciating pain and swelling. The gorilla's skin, once a smooth canvas of dark fur, is now a grotesque landscape of red and purple, a visual representation of nature's unforgiving hand. The infestation is not just a physical assault, it is a psychological one as well. The gorilla, a creature known for its emotional depth, is likely experiencing a whirlwind of confusion and fear. Imagine the sensation of hundreds of tiny invaders, each one seeking to defend its territory, relentlessly attacking. The gorilla's powerful arms, usually capable of swinging through the trees with ease, now hang limply at its sides, weighed down by the burden of pain. It is a haunting image, one that forces us to confront the fragility of life in the wild. But how did this happen? The answer lies in the delicate balance of ecosystems. Bees, while often seen as harmless pollinators, can become aggressive when their hive is threatened. In this case, the gorilla may have unknowingly wandered too close to their home, triggering a defensive response. The bees, driven by a primal instinct to protect their queen and their brood, swarm in a frenzy, their tiny bodies a blur of motion. Each bee, a soldier in a war for survival, sees the gorilla not as a fellow creature of the forest, but as a threat to their very existence. As we observe this tragic encounter, we must also consider the broader implications of such infestations. The gorilla's plight is a microcosm of the struggles faced by many animals in a world increasingly dominated by human activity, habitat destruction, climate change, and the encroachment of civilization into wild spaces have disrupted the delicate balance of nature. The bees, once a vital part of the ecosystem, are now forced into conflict with larger animals as their habitats shrink. This is a dark twist in the narrative of coexistence, where the actions of one species can lead to the suffering of another. In the end, the gorilla's wound serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living beings.